Sup, YouTube. The repair job turned out nicely. I grabbed the glue that doesn't dry clear by mistake, but that's alright. It was still Gorilla Glue. It still got the job done. I ended up taking that excess and just scraping it off with my thumbnail or whatever. I'll be customizing this cane over the next couple of days, and it'll look sick when it's done, even more sick than it already looks. The Gorilla Glue definitely is definitely holding up on this cane. The head came loose, and I'd wedge it back into place. I'd twist it and wedge it back into place, and it'd come loose again. I'm like, nah, fuck this. I ended up taking, and you saw me what I did on camera. Got it fixed, yeah. But anyways, I just created 2 new t-shirt campaigns. The 4Bs t-shirt campaign was canceled after the first 2 printed because Teespring suspected me of using third-party content, so they canceled it. So I redid the design. I redid the 4Bs t-shirt design so that Teespring isn't gonna cancel it. I used all the graphics Teespring has to offer. Looked through them all, you know, and oh yeah. And then I created a brand new t-shirt called the 357 t-shirt. And on the front of it says Colt King Cobra 357 versus Honey Badger. And then it's got a picture of a Colt King Cobra, and then below it says Colt King Cobra wins. Yeah. I bet you if you had a 357 Magnum with some hollow points, you could probably blast through the skull of some fucking honey badger just straight. Watch that honey badger's head go. Yeah. Burning some midnight oil, creating some new t-shirts, and yeah, update you on the cane a little bit too. You can see the glue dried, and it's definitely on there nice and solid. That shit ain't going anywhere. I didn't spend $103.61 plus free shipping just to have the cane and not walk around with it. So when it broke on me, I saw it was a rather easy fix, and I'm like, well, there you go. Made a video about me fixing it and trying out a new cigar, you know. Which, that cigar I tried, what was it called? The Irritators or something like that. I forget what it's called, but if I saw it at the cigar shop, I'd buy it again. Because it was that fucking good. About as good as the Black Cherry Deliciosos, in my opinion. And they have a awesome selection of cigars. And, yeah, that cigar that I reviewed while gluing my cane back together, that cigar company is supposed to be replacing Acid cigars. Which a lot of die-hard Acid cigar fans are going to be like, fuck. But at the same time, you know, that cigar that I did try was actually kind of good. It packed a rather interesting flavor. Give this pipe tobacco a poke in the straw. Had quite an interesting evening, if I do say so myself. I got off of work, went and had a beer at the nearest bar, rode my bike from my job to the bar, locked up my bike, had a beer, unlocked my bike, and just before just before I left the bar, this one half-drunk chick comes out. She sees the bike and she goes, "Oh, that bike is so cool. I see you riding it around town all the time. Can I ride that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, you know." It's not the first time I've had chicks checking out my bike. And then her friend, who's a little bit shorter than she is, comes out, and the first one gets done riding it, and she's like, "Oh, it's so smooth, you know." And then she goes up to her friend, she goes, you gotta try riding this." And her friend's just like, checking out the bike too, and this other chick, she's just like, "I don't know, you know." I held the bike while she got up on it, and she rode it around the parking lot just like her friend did. Right before she gets off the bike, this other chick is like, "I'm too short for this bike. It's rubbing against my clit." And then she gets off the bike, and both her and her friend were like, "Oh, we're both like, oh, hey, thanks for letting us check out the bike." I'm like, "Yeah, not a problem, you know." And I rode away like, "Oh, dude, I haven't had sex in almost a fucking year, and some cute-ass chicks are wanting to ride my bike and shit, and one of them's talking about how the bike seat's rubbing against her clit because she's too fucking short to ride it." I'm just like, "Oh, dude. Talk about teasing a hungry dog with a steak." So I'm flattered and complimented, to say the least, but at the same time, a little bit sexually frustrating. Like, God damn it, dude. It's definitely a sign of things to come. Yeah. Just a little bit more patience. Just a little bit more patience. Now, as soon as this video uploads, I can definitely provide links for those Teespring campaigns in the description box below, if you're interested in checking out the fan merch. That pipe tobacco definitely pulled through. Holy shit. I heard that shit. It was like, it didn't make a fart noise, but you definitely heard that shit pull through. If you're gonna smoke in your house or apartment, whatever it may be, it's probably a good idea to just keep the window open, that way it doesn't fog out or whatever. This here is black cherry pipe tobacco. And if you thought the story with the bike was interesting, my buddy Alex Campbell was trying to get back to Casper, Wyoming, and my buddy Trapped gave me a couple of the t-shirts that he's selling to give away to friends and such. I gave one to Alex Campbell, and yeah, trying to get 20 bucks. He's standing, not only is he standing in a spot where legally in Montana the cops can't fuck with him for panhandling. He's in a spot where they can't just be like, oh, you can't do that, you know. But then a car full of 4 hot-ass chicks pulls up. There's like 2 smoking hot goth chicks in the back, and they see the t-shirt my buddy Alex is wearing. It happened to be my t-shirt that my buddy Trapped is selling. And these 2 hot goth chicks are like, oh, you know King Cobra? That's so cool, you know. And then they gave my buddy Alex 20 bucks and drove off. Yeah. The story with the bike, you say? Yes. I got off work, rode to the nearest bar, parked my bike, locked it up, had a beer, relaxed for a minute, came back out, unlocked my bike, and before I took off from the bar, these 2 half-drunk chicks come out, right? They probably weren't drunk, they were probably a little bit tipsy, you know what I'm saying? But they were both pretty cute. And one of them's like, oh, I've seen you ride that bike around town, and checking it out. Oh, can I ride it, you know? So I let the first chick take the bike for a spin around the parking lot. And she's like, oh, this is so smooth, going on and on about it, you know. Then her friend comes out. Her friend's a little bit shorter than she is, and yeah. She's all telling her friend, you gotta ride this bike, you know. And her friend's like, oh, I don't know. But I balanced the bike, and she got on it. Once she started pedaling, she was like enjoying it, having fun, you know. And then her friend gets off the bike, and she says, and I quote, I'm too short for this bike. The bike seat's rubbing my clit. And then they hand me the bike. They thank me for letting me ride my bike or whatever. And then they go back into the bar. I'm just like, oh, dude, that was cool and flattering at the same time. But damn, when you haven't been laid in almost a fucking year and you got 2 hot ass chicks kind of drooling over your pedal bike a little bit, that's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Get to the chopper now. I tell you what, man, those chicks checking out my bike earlier, it's definitely a sign of things to come. Yeah. I had to redo the 4Bs t-shirt campaign because Teespring suspended it the first time for what they believed was third-party content. So I recreated the t-shirt using their graphics that they offered on Teespring to avoid that bullshit in the near future. Now, even though I got a job, it's always nice to be able to make fan merch and shit. And Teespring allows me to create some pretty awesome fan merch. So, and the nice thing about the 4Bs t-shirt is that it prints every 3 days. So, I'm assuming if people buy them, then they'll keep printing them. Just that simple. Yeah. Because now some people want a fair chance to buy my shirt, and sometimes they can't do it in the 21 days, so they're like, fuck, and then they wait for the next one, you know. But with it printing every 3 days, literally only takes 2 people to buy one, and they're like, oh shit, these are selling, okay, yeah, let's keep printing these. Anyways, this is King Cobra JFS with another freaking video, and I thank you for watching. And definitely catch you cool cobras on the flip side.